Hey guys, it's Jimmy Bremner and Dexter the boy on the urban trail in the 416 CTOA. And guess what? We are about 6 urban trail installments from 100 urban trail videos. And I couldn't have done it without you, and I really appreciate the support. I'm doing this today, in the 416. It's about like 49, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's damp and wet out. Dexter tomorrow is going to the farm, or the property as we call it. He's going to visit his dog cousins and have a lot of fun there. So I'm doing this one right now because can't do it without the boy. So that said, as you know, I'm a big fan of the Swiss Army, and I like Roxxon. Don't get me wrong. I think Roxxon is a pretty cool way to go, if on a budget, right? But it'll never take out a Swiss Army. I'm going to show you a very special Swiss Army knife right now that's actually half a Wenger, and I'll show you how you can tell that, or recognize that if you buy a Swiss Army, there are Wenger components built into it, okay? You may be, again, Swiss Army Victorinox, you may buy a Victorinox, but there are some knives that component is built into it, okay? So let me demonstrate this, right? Okay, here's the Roxxon, right? Like I said, the main thing a Roxxon has going for it is it has a very robust pair of like really good scissors. They're exceptional. It has a pocket clip. It's square shaped, kind of has like hot points on the corners when it's in your pocket, but you can deal with that. It has a one-hand opener blade that locks, liner lock, it locks out, kind of a spear point type of blade. It has, again, the one-hand opener, 3D Phillips, file, all, can opener, bottle opener, flathead, and there is a saw. Stand by. There is a saw, quite sharp. Liner lock on that saw. There's a glass breaker, and it's really hard to find. Inside, in the back end of the scissors, there are a pair of tweezers, right? So, they do a pretty good job with that, all right? And again, it is probably a third of the cost of a Swiss Army. It's not going to last as long as a Swiss Army. And now I'm going to show you an exceptional Swiss Army knife if you can get it. It's not easy to find one because, as I said, part of it is a Wenger, okay? And I'll show you how you can recognize that. Okay, so this, I'm going to come in a bit closer here. This is the Evo grip, okay, Swiss Army, right? You can tell it's Victorinox because it's more of a shield. It doesn't have the square emblem as does Wenger. Here's the unique thing about this knife, and I don't think you can beat this, especially if you're trying to go light and you don't want to carry weight. You can't beat this knife, and here's why. It has a locking blade. Okay? If you look really closely, that's the lock there. It has a locking blade. And here's the problem, right? When you, this is Swiss Army Forester, no locking blade. Okay, so when you are, a knife that doesn't have a locking blade, okay, that, right, doesn't have a locking blade. Here's how you get cut to the bone. You dig in on something, usually on this angle, and because of, human, just like evolutionary biology, when we try harder to do things, we naturally grip things like this, right? And you're not even thinking about it when that happens, right? When you use a knife that does not have a locking blade, okay, you should grip it so. Because here's what happens. If you do that grip, here's what's going to happen to you. You are going to dig in, and you're putting pressure, and it's going to fold over, and it's going to cut you to the bone. Ask me how I know. So a locking blade, in my humble opinion, is a very, it's like not like a necessity, but it's a great option when you're looking at, like, what am I buying? What should I do? Is probably number one on the list, because if you get wounded out in the bush, you get infected, it's going to be a bad time for you, right? It's going to make what is miserable more miserable. So again, when you're using a knife that doesn't have a locking blade, you have to be very, again, cognizant that you grip it properly, and you're not wrapping your hand around, because it's just not going to work out for you. The great thing about Swiss Army is they come from here and they go all the way down. And stand by while I find the scissors on this. Okay, and here now I will demonstrate how you recognize the difference between a Swiss Army, like again, a Victorinox now that has some Wenger components on it. Well, how do you recognize that? And I will demonstrate this. Okay. If you look very closely, okay, on the left, you see the spring that a typical Victorinox has. If you look on the right, the yellow one, you'll see the lever, okay, that is actually very more efficient. And in fact, these scissors are serrated and they grip and cut really well. And that is a throwback to Wenger. The other thing that you'll notice, stand by, I got a lot of things in my pockets, right? See, this is a Wenger, right? Because it has a square emblem on it. This is a Wenger, and it's probably 35 years old. But the other way you recognize that your Victorinox has Wenger components is by the shape of the bottle opener. You will not see on a Swiss Army, a Victorinox, you will not see that shape. It has a totally different shape. It has a totally different shape, all right? And even more so, the can opener on the Wenger is very much different than it is on the Victorinox. So why did I do the video? I did the video to explain that if you're looking for a light, you know, carry knife with a locking blade, with your can opener, bottle opener, your awl that you can sew with, your scissors, your saw, this tool, again, it has your toothpick and your tweezers on it. You can't beat this. And the grip is actually very comfortable. It's rubberized where your palm and your thumb latch onto it. They run about $100, $120, but I don't think you can beat this knife, like even for an everyday carry in the office, you know, camping, you know, you name it, in the car, just in case kind of thing. This is an exceptional tool. It's very well thought out, and you know, you buy once, you cry once, but you cannot compare. Like I said, I like rock song, okay? I like rock song, but I can't, there's no way that you can compare it to this particular Victorinox knife. And I don't know the model of it. There is another one with a red handle, but it doesn't have the saw on it. But it's an Evo grip, and yeah, you can look it up. You can find them on online on the Swiss Army, you know, webpage, or the Amazon or things like that. But you know what? If you're looking for a great utility tool, you can't beat this thing, right? So that said, Dexter the boy, like he said, he's going to the farm tomorrow. Come here, buddy. Up. Come here. Dexter, the boy, come here. Oh, there's a dog sounding off down there, so he's pretty attentive and down there right now. Hey, come here. Up. Say goodbye. Up. Up. Never work with dogs or children. Like I said, we're about 6, 7 videos away from 100 on the Urban Trail, and I thank you so much for your support all the time and questions about Dexter the boy. And when I get to 100, we'll do a bit of a celebration thing. And thank you so much all the time. It's Jimmy Bremner, Dexter the boy, Urban Trail, CTOA, and we're out.